And some of them know his mental health issues. And so they told him, it's better you die.
If a sexual crime is being committed against me, I don't think I owe that person empathy
you're right.
to
Yeah.
censor his name.
Yeah. If you don't want your face to appear on social media, don't cheat. What you do that for?
Hello and welcome to the third episode of Bridging the Void, where Singaporeans from all walks of life come together to discuss polarizing views openly and meaningfully. I'm Joey.
And I'm Harish, and we are joined by three wonderful guests who will now introduce themselves. Cici, would you take it away?
You say my name already.
But you can give the...
Cici, what's your name?
Hi everybody, I'm Cici. I'm actually an actress, comedian, content creator, model.
Wow.
Anything you can think of that can make money.
And I'm Faz. I work in marketing, but at the same time, I also create content online, mostly mom content and tech.
I'm Naresh. I run a non-profit called Impact. We work to give youth a fighting chance through mental health care, education, and community-based wellness activities.
I mean, you all are familiar with the online space as content creators, which is great because today's episode is all about public accountability in the digital age. What we're going to do is talk about your opinions on social media, clashes that happen online, and how to hold people accountable for what they say without causing more problems and more tensions between each other.
Okay, before we begin, just a little disclaimer. All the views expressed here today by us are solely our personal experiences and anecdotes. And for the guests, please feel free to share your raw and honest thoughts. I hope that Harish and I can create a safe environment for you to share all your deepest, darkest secrets. Mm-hmm. But before we get into the main topic, we have a little icebreaker question that we always ask before we start, right? How many hours do you spend on social media a day?
Wow.
Okay, phones out.
Since today
Phones
hasn't
out.
fully ended, let's look at yesterday's
Okay.
stats.
So the social media is just TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit.
Okay. 31 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
not bad. So
Yes.
you're flexing that, you're flexing that.
I think it's very healthy.
It's a flex, eh?
Okay, but honestly, I don't really spend a lot of time on social media. Although I know it's very contradicting because I'm a content creator, but personally, I feel that social media, it can be quite toxic to myself. If let's say I watch a lot of IG stories of my friends or people whom are in the same industry as me, I tend to compare ourselves a lot, which is what I don't really like. I feel that it's, I should just focus on myself and only compare myself with me every day so that I can be a better version of myself.
So what's yours, Joey?
Honest.
3 hours.
I think it's okay for a day. I think it's okay.
Yesterday was a pretty slow, actually quite low. I looked at the week's activity.
Yeah.
Yesterday was quite low.
What about you?
14 minutes. I don't know what I was
wow.
doing yesterday. 14 minutes, yeah. I don't know how Instagram 4 minutes. TikTok 6 minutes.
Wow,
14
okay,
minutes.
Nourish and Faz.
Mine was 4.5 hours.
6 hours on social, a lot on WhatsApp. 0 minutes for TikTok for me.
0.
He doesn't even have it on his phone.
No, I have it.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
Time to follow Joey.
Yeah. Then maybe you can increase it to maybe 5 minutes.
So, to dive into the actual topic, we are going to need your involvement to spin the gachapon machine.
Oh,
So, who's going first? I mean, there'll be other opportunities also.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Sure.
You do it, then I hop the ball for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Oh.
This is so fun. Oh my gosh, so fun.
What is that? What's that?
Okay, it's 2 emojis, 2 hearts,
Okay.
and
Hearts emoji.
This is what?
A girl saying
across.
no.
Okay.
and is it lau pasat?
Oh, I think I
Yeah,
know what
Lau
that
Pasat.
is going.
Smart. Okay, so can you all guess?
Oh, wow.
A girl saying no.
Oh, I know which one.
Which one?
The one where the girl was taken to lau pasat for a first date and she basically talk shit about it.
See, if you were on social media more, you will know the story.
But this one sounds familiar, but
familiar.
I can't recall.
Have you heard of
You
this,
are
Nourish?
very trendy.
Sort of.
I tried.
Okay, so in September 2025, a Singaporean influencer caused a stir when she cancelled a first date because she found out it was at Lau Pa Sat. She said the suggestion was plain rude and that anyone who suggests Lau Pa Sat as a first date location is getting cancelled regardless of how handsome they are. So in the clip, that went viral. She included a screenshot, right, of her messaging the guy because they were conversing on like messages. I believe this is WhatsApp. So then
Yeah.
she called him a brokey, like brokey
What
as in a
is
broke
brokey?
person. So some people were criticizing her for being an elitist, saying there's nothing wrong with having a first date. And some people said that, you know what, it's true. I want to be treated like I'm worth a chance, and bringing me to a hawker center is basically telling me that it's casual. You're not investing in this possible relationship. So both have valid points, and I would like to know yours.
Can I just say, lau pa sat is very expensive?
That's my first thought too, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of context that's missing because my husband took me to eat fish head curry on our first date. We've been together for 15 years now. And like I'm like, okay, it's a bit weird, like Saturday night, like take car and like, but like he's also not from here. So to him, it's like a new and novel thing. So he wants to experience something new and novel with me.
Yeah.
So like why? So maybe it's not somebody
Not from Singapore.
not from Singapore. You shouldn't dismiss somebody just by where he's gonna take you.
I wonder whether this is helpful communication, right? If everything is going up on the social media and we are not communicating with the person who is proposing to go to the Lau Pa Sat, then how do we ever get to know why did they even propose it in the first place?
Yeah.
There is a sudden lack of curiosity and a lot of judgment.
The core here, right, is that they are different people. The thing that makes me feel a bit like on the fence about it is there's no need to vilify him. He's not a villain in this situation. He maybe has different values. He maybe values money differently. She probably sees herself. I mean, there's a trend, right, where people see like, I'm a high value woman. I want a high value man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that
Yeah.
either. It's just a mismatch then, right?
Correct.
So the moment I saw this come up and I saw the comments, right, it made me think, are we too used to people around us having the same mindset? We're not meant to agree all the time. I think the importance is respecting the difference in our views. So in this case, he's not wrong, she's not wrong, but for her to take it online, do you guys think she was wrong to do that?
When the word cancel is being used, it feels like the notion is on like othering. That means to say that you start to say that this is not me, this is not what I believe in, and this is another person. And the minute that happens, what happens is that you will start to see the other person as someone that you want to vilify. Because he's not in the same camp as you. So I feel like that can be damaging for the other party because we have no clue to what
The context
and
of
why
it. Yeah.
the other party said whatever they said.
I mean, when one party decides to post this online, they probably want support for themselves.
So then do you think it's beneficial to have discussions like this online at all? Or at the end of the day, it's still more divisive?
But I think there's more to the conversation where empathy comes into play. If I'm not going to go up to you and say something to you in your face, why can you say it online? Why doesn't this empathy also transfer digitally?
But do you think like sometimes being too empathetic can be destructive also? For example, I mean, not say destructive, it can be polarizing because there was a recent wellness brand that removed an advertisement after allegedly promoted like fat shaming and domestic violence. You can argue that because people were empathetic to the people who felt discriminated against, the company had to take it down.
I think discernment is also very context. Like you need discernment to be online, but not everybody is able to tell when you should step in. So I think we need to be very careful because yes, we should be empathetic, but we also sometimes need to hold people accountable to these things. They are brave enough to put it online. So then you should welcome all forms of feedback, whether they're
That's
good
right.
or bad.
Like, I mean, social media, yes, it can galvanize people towards a certain cause, but what if it's like galvanizing towards a certain type of person or a group of people? Like, Naresh, have you dealt with any youth who've been subject to discrimination because of a certain race or demographic has been vilified?
I have. And they do talk about his race when they are vilifying him. So that does come out and they call names because that they really see him as the villain. And so they go after him for that. So that is still racism, right?
But for the group of kids that you mentioned, how did they even come to be aware that this person was targeted? Was it they were sharing it amongst themselves or?
So one can be on the social media, they post stories and they talk about the person and then it becomes viral. I've also seen where they have singularly picked a person, put them in a Telegram group.
Everybody just whack.
Yes, everybody just went. What? Yeah, and this person has mental health illness. They're not talking with him. They're talking about him. And some of them know his mental health issues. And so they told him, it's better you die.
Oh my.
The way bullying is now evolving is evolving into the cyberspace.
Yes.
And the way young people were taught to respond previously and now has to change.
Just bringing back to the Lau Pa Sat thing again, to me, I actually see a trend that a lot of youngsters or even maybe adults, they tend to share such cases or putting such, incidents or occurrence online because they feel that maybe people like to watch such contents. So
And people do.
yeah,
love
so,
drama,
we all love drama.
Yeah.
We love juicy stuff. So this is also the reason why we are maybe indirectly we are also encouraging them to provide more of such contents to us. So is it even healthy?
And then for someone who is single, right, it's very scary, because now you're watching this and it scares you to even date even
You're
more.
gonna ask someone to lau pa sat, you're like, hey, wow, can I ask?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
in
how?
fact, it might cause people to purposely ask to wean off the
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
disagree with you. I'm going to purposely ask you. If you say no, then I would never agree with you in the first place because you're so shallow.
But then on the flip side, maybe it allows people are like, lau pa sat, yes or no? No, swipe left.
Exactly. So
So
it
then
speeds
it can help what? Yeah, it can speed up, right?
You know, actually, this entire Lau Pa Sat saga, right, only helped Lau Pa Sat because it becomes very popular.
Was it?
It's
Like it's
ultimately,
like
Was it
Singapore
a
tourism board
campaign?
thing.
Yeah.
ultimately Lau Pa Sat wins.
STB, if this was you, nice one. All right, shall we spin the next capsule?
Yes.
Cici,
Okay.
do
I
the
will catch the
honors.
ball
The
now.
ball, huh?
Yeah. So exciting.
Oh, wow, la pro. Ah.
Wow,
that
that's
was
why.
Gachapon Pro.
Wow,
Okay, I have
What is that?
a judge, right?
Judge.
Okay.
And then this is a phone.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we have
Judging the screen time.
this is
Scale.
a weighing
Six,
scale.
6, 7.
6. What is this? Guess the topic.
Yeah, I guess the topic.
Guys, you're gonna help me.
No, just talk it through. When you think of like judge, what comes to mind? Like phone, what comes to phone?
Libra.
Libra, yeah,
The
correct.
scales. I don't know.
Is it
try,
a trending
just try.
topic?
It
Like
was a
viral
topic
video?
that captured the attention of Singapore a few years ago.
Okay,
Voyeurism?
Oh, something there. Okay.
You kelong or what? How you arrive at this? Sure, you're
Because
working.
Yeah,
Sure, you're
what about
working.
this is
Show your
voyeurism?
formula.
Because of the way he looked. No.
Please.
What is it?
It's a case relating to voyeurism.
Oh, really?
Okay, so this is a high-profile sexual harassment case that took place in a local university in 2019 involving a student who was filmed in the shower by a fellow student. So she was unhappy with the way the school handled this situation and she took it to her Instagram to
Yes.
push for real consequences. The viral post contained her perpetrator's personal details and it sparked a nationwide discussion on one, the school's response, and two, that actually led a lot of the netizens to go and harass him. So he ended up being issued a 12-month conditional warning and 1 semester of suspension from the school. This incident prompted the school to reevaluate its policy against sexual misconduct, increasing the suspension term to 1 year minimum. So it seemed that her post did result in some form of change, so she managed to escalate it efficiently. But it begets the question, is digital justice an appropriate means of ensuring accountability and advocating for change?
Wow.
You all recall the discussions around that case?
Yeah.
I recall the case.
Yeah. It's very hard because as a parent myself, I have noticed like even recently the bullying cases of like this 9-year-old, and I have been in that person's shoes where my kid is being bullied. There's not enough action being done. And until it becomes viral, then you see action. Like, why did it have to escalate to that? But on the other hand, like, we live in such a small country. Cancel culture is not somebody you don't know. It's like, somebody's cousin, somebody's you know this rites of passage. Somebody has gone through JC and NS and whatever, and you may know this person, and like messing up somebody's life like that, is that worth? I don't know. Again,
but
it's
can
like,
you not post it without detailing the perpetrators' names?
I'm sorry if this is controversial, but if a sexual crime is being committed against me, I don't think I owe that person empathy
you're right.
to
Yeah.
censor his name.
Yeah.
You thought in that moment it was okay to breach my privacy
Yeah.
and be selfish. So why is the onus on me as a victim to then consider your feelings and your future? Because if he had disseminated this video, my future would have been affected.
I feel that there's nothing wrong with it, just like what Joey said. Yeah, because she must be feeling really upset that, why justice is not being done when things like that happen to her. This is actually something that I would do if such things were to happen to me. Yeah.
But is that assuming that the authorities that you go to, they're not fulfilling their job?
Yes,
or you
because-
think it's part and parcel, like you go to the authorities, but you also name and shame?
No. I will go to the authorities first, like what Faz mentioned. We will always want to deal with things, privately or even, the right way, through the right channel. But if it's not being done properly and justice was not being done properly to us, then we might have to
resort to that kind of thing.
resort, to bringing this online.
But do you think it could potentially breed a culture of naming and shaming as the baseline? Because it could shape how younger folk think about social media, especially.
Yeah, of course.
But in this case, what we're discussing is in our perspective where justice is being served,
Yeah.
right? But justice is also
Subjective.
It's very subjective,
Yeah.
right? To maybe the perpetrator's family. It's like, did you have to ruin his future like that?
so
Yes,
I
he
was-
made a
I was
mistake.
going to ask, so what were the opposing, opinions?
I think maybe there was one school of thought thinking that, okay, he's already received his sentence.
Okay.
Is society then responsible for layering on more sentence? If there's an issue with the sentencing, then we should tackle or go to the people who dished out the sentencing.
When we take it to more maybe relevant, more ambiguous situations, maybe your friend got cheated on. Now it's very common to post your partner's face, their chat logs after they've cheated on you, and to name and shame. And sometimes it gets to the point where these people lose their jobs. Is it really necessary to
lose your
name
job?
and shame? Because now all you need to do is Google this person's name, right? And LinkedIn is not the first thing that pops up anymore. It'll be articles, it'll be proof of his affair, right?
Yeah.
And the third party as a woman, her affair as well. So then, is this a form of digital justice that can be justified?
So this is actually the internal argument I will have with myself when I see such posts. Because I am the case whereby they went for one of the concert and then they saw this couple. I read a lot of comments online. I read a lot of different people posting about this video, because so many people actually commented things like, they should be fired because, they are cheating on their spouses. They are not being honest, integrity issues. Is it affecting their job? And people will also comment things like, I will not believe this company again. So all this pressure are actually eating in on the company, which is why the two of them left the company as well.
That one is tricky because you got no authorities to go through
Yeah.
it, right?
On the other hand, I'm like, if you don't want your face to appear on social media, don't cheat. What you do that for?
I see the other side of Faz coming out now.
It's getting
No,
spicy.
some of you all are content creators. You all have your own following. Have you all ever used your own platform to stand up for something that be it with someone around you was disrespected or something?
I do. I did once. I remember during one of the year during Star Awards. So this particular person, she did a lot of stuff for me, which is very sweet. She's very nice. She did a lot, and then she did even a video for me and everything. She also posted online. And then I realized the next day her video went viral. A lot of the comments were saying that, no wonder you like CC. What do you mean by no wonder you like Sissy? Then more of the comments coming in say that, same size lah, no wonder they like each other. Oh, now we know that, only people of this size will like Sissy, that kind of thing. And you are fat, that's why you will like Sissy. So there are a lot of such comments, and she didn't say anything. She didn't even tell me that this was happening. My assistant then actually showed me this video, and then I saw this was happening. I immediately went to my social media and called all these people out.
When you say you call them out, like what do you mean? Like do you name their handles or?
I don't want them to go through what this girl is going through at the time. So I did not really name and shame them. All I said was to put the whole situation into everyone's into perspective, saying that, you know, this is a very safe space. Online platform should be a safe space whereby you can share whatever you want to share. Nobody should feel threatened or upset about things that they want to post.
So I think a lot of people who go behind the screens and they feel that they don't need to be who they are. But the question is that who they really are? And I think that's the most troubling thing, right? Because when you are yourself, when you are in the public, there's a certain image that we are all trying to maintain and uphold. Then we also have a conscience. But all of a sudden, all of these things goes away. And then when you see the keyboard warrior writing something totally absurd, it begs us to wonder what's really going on in their psyche. Is there something that they are holding, some kind of trauma they themselves have experienced? Or how does that comment make them even feel for them to even have put it out there in the first place? So in one way, you can say hurt people, hurt others. You can also say that these people really need a lot of help, or there's something else that is wrong with the society right now, that they need to have this kind of outburst because they can't have the outburst anywhere else.
All right, shall we spin the next capsule?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to
A
spin.
team
Yeah, I
effort, team
get.
effort.
There's a camera.
Okay.
I.
Like a regular camera kind of thing?
Yeah,
Show
regular. I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I, okay.
Door.
A door.
A door.
And a
And
house.
a house.
Oh.
Something about surveillance.
PI.
Yes and yes. Ish.
Somebody
Naresh, any
putting
guess?
CCTV outside their house. No.
Wow.
Wow, fast.
Wow.
On the
Surveillance on your algorithm a lot, huh?
I mean, also maybe because I put CCTV outside my house.
Oh, you put
CCTV
CCTV
outside the house. Any case on that?
And like CCTV footage outside the home was actually at the center of this case recently, where a resident in Tiong Bahru complained that his neighbor's doorbell camera might be infringing on his family's privacy because it looked into his doorway and interior space.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the neighbor who installed the camera said it was meant only for parcel delivery and remote comms because his wife has difficulty with English.
Okay.
So it was set to only record people within 1 meter of the door. So already got dispute lah. So the local town council inspected the device, found that it didn't look directly into the neighbor's unit, said it is not an issue lah. Because as of May 2023, HDB residents no longer need to get approval for corridor-facing cameras as long as they are not pointing at a neighbor's door.
Okay.
Yeah. So this case, yeah, it's a clear example of how one person thinking it's okay, it might not be okay for the other neighbor lah. So it was also something that was debated online. Some appreciate the security that these cameras provide, but also some people are suspicious about the threat it represents lah. The question is, for this sort of things, should there be more surveillance in Singapore, and where do we draw the line between security and privacy?
I have the same one as the case study. I think those for like delivery, parcel delivery. So whereby if anyone were to press on my doorbell, I can click on the button and then it will show who is standing right outside my door. So for safety purposes as well.
And for Naresh and Faz?
Yeah, I use a similar like digital lock one. Like I have a kid, so like just the security, like just general safety and knowing that I know who's outside my house, I know who's coming in and out. It's quite funny because mine is a new block of flats, and last year there was a serial shoe thief in our vicinity. So like,
Really?
yeah, so this neighbors were sharing screenshots of this guy. Like he would like inspect and like look around and like into multiple homes. So it came to a point where we're like, okay, we reported to town council, we reported to the police. So somebody printed out a photo of this guy but censored his face and put it out. We know you come around.
Oh, to let him know,
And then put him in the lift. So like, and then after that he didn't come back.
Oh.
Like talk about community surveillance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right to say you all don't have an issue with CCTVs in and around where you live?
I feel a lot
True, that's
safer
true,
actually
yeah.
because
Or with
I
multiple
mean,
cameras?
Yeah,
is
I
it?
mean, people will know that I've been through this passageway at this point of time, if touch wood anything were to happen, they know that, I haven't been back or what time I actually exited my house. Actually, yeah, having CCTV around my neighborhood, that's actually quite
I got
safe.
CCTV.
CC.
like-
Yeah, I am a CCTV, yes.
Okay, that can be like your next handle.
Or you can start a CCTV company. lah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I personally feel like too much CCTV for me is like, whoa, I don't want my location to be tracked. Lah. Even if I'm not doing anything naughty or anything, it just feels like you never know with all this data out there how it could be used against you. Because there is a case that in New South Wales, apparently police were suspected of identifying people who attended anti-lockdown protests using CCTV. So that means they went back and they looked at the recordings and they identified people through the CCTV. So you never know with these cameras out there, be it public or private, if it's recorded, if it's stored somewhere, right? Maybe it can be used against you at some point.
I think in the wrong hands, a lot of things can go wrong,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
What if you moved countries to avoid somebody,
Yeah.
right? Maybe for your safety, an
Yeah.
ex-partner or an abusive ex, for example. Then this person has the power of technology with facial recognition to track where you are. Now they can find you, right?
This sounds like a movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously an extreme example. And Harish, you work with so many youths, right? Do you think they understand the idea of, use TikTok live
Yeah.
all the time now.
Yeah.
TikTok live under the void there.
And they
TikTok
show their
Live,
location,
show their
where they
location
are.
in
Yeah.
real time. Some of these are minors. I don't
Yes.
think they realize they are providing
A lot
CCTV
of-
for people also. Like they are now.
Something like that. Sometimes when I do live, just by showing maybe a corner of the shop,
They can
know where
CSI,
you are.
Yeah.
They know exactly where you are. It's quite scary. So I made it a point that I don't
post in real time.
I don't post in real time for my IG story. And if I want to do live stream, I'm either at a safe space. I don't want to be at a place whereby it will show off where I am.
or like a landmark or something.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Naresh, and your experience working with people, even your personal opinion?
If you ask me, I think the Gen Z are the most afraid of digital footprints. In fact, actually, many of them seem to be a lot more cautious about these things
Oh, really?
as compared to millennials,
Oh.
Really?
people like me.
How come?
There seems to be a lot more greater awareness about privacy. I would say that they post what they want others to see. So they seem to have a lot more autonomy around it. But going back to the CCTV conversation about surveillance, I feel like the young people nowadays, maybe they don't know how their location or how some of these things can be used. And if they know it, I'm sure they will guard against it.
Yeah, yeah.
So my assistant, she's very young as well. She shared with me that she had an app that could track like whichever friends who downloaded the app, she can know that where exactly they are.
I use that for my mom actually.
And she and her mom has that too, and I find it very scary.
But-
So she asked me, "Can you download that?" No.
But you have to give an authorization to someone to
Yes,
track
yes.
you.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so in cases like you say you do it with your mom, is it? So you
yeah,
know.
because I know where she is lah. I mean, like she's much older. Even though she has a phone, she doesn't answer her phone. So I'm like, when I'm worried, I just look at my I'm like,
If
she's
it's
at
moving,
home.
means it's safe, right?
Yeah, yeah. She's at home.
So
or
then,
like,
does it make it a difference? Like, let's say you are monitoring the whereabouts of your mom versus like a third party. Let's say there's a service. Okay, I'm gonna pay you a few something, but you monitor my mom. Is
If
there a
it's-
difference for you? Stranger versus family?
I think if it's a service that again I consented, I don't think it's a problem. Like whether it's like an elderly care or whatever, I feel like it's okay. Yeah.
But like just now when you mentioned also like you not wanting to be tracked even by your friends. Well, what's the concern there?
It's just the same, I don't know whether or not this information will leak to somebody else or somewhere, or someone might hack the whole system. So to avoid all these, I feel like I would just be safe and not have such an app to track my whereabouts.
So then it's balancing safety versus that, right? Because those in-lift cameras, certain HDB
Yeah,
blocks
yeah,
they
yeah.
have. So one time I was in a lift, it's hot weather, things get itchy, you scratch.
You scratch where?
You scratch. And I was like, okay,
always
just scratch
forgot.
from like high floor to low floor a lot of time. I come out, it was one of those lists where they project what is on the lift.
They project
As in,
it.
is the screen is there when people
Oh,
are
I
waiting.
didn't know that.
Then the family is just standing there.
I didn't know that such
Yeah,
a thing.
some lifts are like that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
So then I was like, go out.
You're like,
At the family,
completely violated.
Yeah.
You know, I have similar incident.
You also scratch.
I do a lot of stupid things in the lift. I really do.
Example?
For
Like
example,
what?
if I have a, wedgie and I will start doing like a ballerina pose.
Like a Jane Fonda workout.
Yes. And then I'll go like, then I'll sing to myself, na 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 na.
For free, Sissy, you give them.
The moment I know that, okay, the lift is arriving on the first level, so I go like, okay, stop, Sissy, stop. So I go there, I open the door, and then everyone is like giggling, smiling. So I was thinking, why everyone is like smiling at me? That's a very friendly neighborhood. So I went out, and then they go like, 跳得很好. Means you dance very well.
Oh, is it?
And then I froze. I just go,
Then
how
you
do
see
they
the
know?
screen, lah, right?
And then I turn back. I want to say thank you, ma. Cannot be rude. I go, Sissy, I saw the screen. They went in and it's like so clear.
Yeah.
Really? I've never known
Yes.
this. Wow.
That's when
Yeah,
I
and normally
know.
it's only in the lift lobby. So you
Yes,
take the lift from the top one, you don't
yes.
know. Then you scratch, you do
Yeah,
your
yeah,
period.
But you
ah.
scratch, you got smell.
Ew.
I don't think I did that time.
Good.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that
Oh, that time.
I don't, okay? Yeah, no. Erin, before we wrap up, we have one little activity. So we would like each of you to take a moment to reflect on this sentence and jot down your thoughts. So you can just take this and pass it. And the question is, what are your thoughts on public accountability after this conversation?
So I think that there needs to be a review of things, of the policies, of just understanding what is confidential, what's not confidential, and it need to be relevant to this day and age. And I think that we also need to rethink how responsible people should be.
3 R's. No more reuse, reduce, recycle. It's relevance, responsibility, review.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Was it a coincidence or you planned it that way?
It just came up.
Chi.
It's just
Like a poet.
nature, yeah.
Well, I think the internet has democratized accountability. Anyone can call out bad behavior, but it has also flattened it. I think not every mistake is a scandal, and not every disagreement is an attack. I think public accountability shouldn't be about surveillance, and like you said, it should be about shared responsibility. Maybe it's less gotcha culture, but more like we got you culture.
做你觉得是对的东西。
Do what is right. Do
No
what
lah,
you think
I
is
actually
right.
wrote something. I say you can actually do what you think is right without compromising other safety and privacy. But what's most important is before you actually go into any form of actions, think twice. Yeah, think twice.
All right. Thank you all so much for your
Thanks
lovely
so much.
reflections. Thanks for your thoughts. Thanks for joining us. And to everyone watching, we will see you on the next episode of Bridging the Void and talk to you all soon. Bye.